let's talk about the seasons. The orbit of the Earth around the sun, combined with the tilt of the planet, causes the seasons to happen, okay? So the tilt of the planet causes the seasons. Now, check this out. What we need to do, and hopefully at some point you've learned about how the seasons work, but I'm going to review it real quick right now, and then just put a little bit more detail in it. Now, check this out. So right here, I've got, I'm trying to draw sort of a 3D image here. That's why I drew this ahead of time. I'm not the best artist, but right here we got the sun towards the center of the orbit, and this is the Earth orbiting around the sun, okay? And remember, precession that we talked about last time. Is precession really fast, or is precession really slow? Is precession really fast, or is precession really slow? I think I might have a little bit of a delay. It's really slow. So that means within one human lifetime, and especially within 1 year, the Earth is not going to precess enough to really worry about it in your lifetime. So we can basically just pretend that the North and the South Pole always point in the same direction every part of the year. You can't see the South Pole in this picture because it's behind the sun. So right here, the Earth is come in front of the sun, and that's why it looks so big. It's close to us. And then right here, it's moving right to the back. It looks a little smaller because it's further behind the sun. But in all of these, we've got that same exact tilt going around the sun. Now, so here's my question. For this question, this is left, right, front, or back. Okay? Left, right, front, or back. For the Northern Hemisphere, for us here in North Florida, which one of those is summer? If you don't know how to do this, I'm going to explain it in a little bit, but let's see if we can make some guesses here. So which one of these is summer for the Northern Hemisphere? Left, front, right, or back? Let's take some guesses. Which one of these is summer? Because the seasons have to do with how the North and South Pole are tilted, right? Nobody want to guess? Oh, come on, guys. Let me give you a hint. It is considered summer when the North Pole is tilted towards the sun, okay? It's considered summer when the North Pole is tilted towards the sun for the Northern Hemisphere. So yeah, which one are we dealing with? Which one is the summer? It's this one. It's the one on the left. So if we look right here, because we can see that the North Pole is in the light and the South Pole is in the dark, we know that the North Pole is tilted towards the sun. Okay, so right here, when the North Pole is tilted towards the sun and the South Pole is tilted away from the sun, it's summer for the Northern Hemisphere. So for everything I'm about to say, it's for the Northern Hemisphere. I know some of you guys are actually in the Southern Hemisphere right now. I'll get to the Southern Hemisphere for a second, in a second. But right now, it's summer right here. Okay, so if this is summer, can you guys figure out what season it would be when the Earth is right here? What season would this be right here? If that over there was summer, that's winter, okay? That's winter right there, all right? So, we can tell this is winter because the North Pole is tilted into the darkness and the South Pole is now tilted towards the sun. So when the North Pole is tilted away from the sun, it's winter. Okay, so check this out. That means here and on the one back in the back, the North Pole is not tilted towards or away from the sun. It's just sort of tilted off to the side somewhere. So, here we go. If this one is summer and this one is winter, what's this one? Somebody's already guessing. What's this one? What do we think this one is right here? Okay, yes, this is fall. How can I tell that this is fall, this one in the front is fall, and not spring? How do I know that that's fall? Because for both spring and fall, the tilt is neither towards or away to the sun. But yeah, it's because it comes after summer. To know which one is fall and spring, you have to look at the orbit, right? You have to look at the orbit. Because this was summer, and this arrow is pointing in this direction, we know that this has to be the season after summer. So that means this must be fall, okay? That's got to be fall right there. And then you get to winter, and if you follow the arrows again, this is the one after winter, so that's going to be spring in the back there. Okay, so really what that means is you really only have to find summer, and then as long as you know the order of the seasons, you'll get all of them, right? As long as you can find summer where the North Pole is in the light and the South Pole is in the dark, then if that's summer, the next one's got to be fall, then winter, then spring, right? I can't tell you how many times on a test people have labeled these like summer, winter, spring, fall, or something like that. And that blows my mind. It blows my mind that people will put the seasons totally out of order. That's crazy to me. I mean, I know in Florida we don't really feel all of these seasons. It's just sort of like summer, fall for like a week, and then summer again. But you still gotta know the order of the seasons, right? So, yeah, find summer, and then that will point you to all of the other ones. Okay, now, somebody's pointing this out. This is summer for us in the northern hemisphere because our pole is tilted towards the sun. But if you're living down in Australia or the southern part of South America or Africa, then your pole is tilted away from the sun when the Earth's right here. So what season would this be for the people in the southern hemisphere right here? If they're tilted away from the sun, what season would that be? That would be winter, right? That would be winter. Which means if that's winter for the southern hemisphere, what would this be for the southern hemisphere? On this side, their pole is tilted towards the sun, so that's going to be summer. So actually somebody already posted this. That means that if you know all of the northern hemisphere seasons, what's going to be true about all of the southern hemisphere seasons? The southern hemisphere seasons are always... it's okay. Yes, reversed. That's a good way to put it. They're always reversed or opposite of ours, right? So basically, don't worry about memorizing both of them. Just be able to figure out the ones in the northern hemisphere, and then the southern hemisphere ones are always just the exact opposite. Or if you live in the southern hemisphere, find out the southern ones, and then the northern ones are just opposite. So if this was winter for the north, it's summer for the south. If this was fall for the north, it's spring for the south. Winter for the north, summer for the south. Spring for the north, fall for the south. Oh, and one other quick question. Do you guys know what the other word for fall is in English? What's the other word for fall? Sometimes people say it sounds a little fancier, okay? What's the other word for fall? Autumn, okay? Autumn. Don't make the mistake of not knowing that word. One time on a test, I put this on here and I said, find autumn. And I had several people come up to me after the test to ask me what autumn was. And they weren't able to answer that question because they did not know the word autumn. I know what you might be thinking. Oh, maybe they just weren't native English speakers, but no, this was a native English speaker. This was this person's only language was English, and they still didn't know the word autumn. I'm not going to shame you on this too much, but autumn is just a fancy way to say fall. Okay, so bear with it. Okay, now, so this that we've been talking about is probably something you learned in school before, okay? It's probably something you learned in school before. Maybe not if you live very close to the equator. You might not have learned this. So somebody's asking, is autumn a southern thing? Now, I mean, they say it in England too. It's not used very much anymore. I guess that's the problem. But, yeah, it might come up. Okay?